Hello XDA, I'm Eric, and this is a phone with two screens. This is the ZTE Axon M, a phone I have already spoken about on this channel a couple of times. It's exciting, it's new, and it's a lot of fun to review. So let's talk about it. Why should you have a two-screen phone? When you're looking at the design side of things, in one-handed phone mode, it's actually pretty nice. It is a square, which kind of sucks because the corners really do cut into your hands. However, it fits well in your pocket and has a lot of good heft. When you're using the phone with one screen, the large bezel on the top and bottom give your hands space to hold the phone when you sit and consume media. The display itself is absolutely gorgeous. I think colors really pop, it gets very bright, and it's overall very enjoyable to use. The second screen is also very nice, however, you will notice that there's a bit of a color shift and it's a tad dimmer than the main screen. The speakers on the bottom of the phone are alright. The two dual firing speakers, and while I would have preferred to see two front facing speakers, especially because the bezels are so large on this phone, I understand that they might have had to move them down because of all the things they were doing in regards to the two screens. Overall, I'm going to say that they're alright speakers, but nothing crazy. As for buttons, they're all quite tactile, with the power button doubling as your fingerprint scanner. All the buttons are very clicky. Actually, these are some of my favorite buttons I've ever seen. On top of the power button, you have your two volume rockers, and below the power button, there is a custom button, which is there to launch TV mode. It essentially just allows you to launch YouTube, the DirecTV app, which is already put on here due to the fact that this is an AT&T only phone, or you can open up Netflix or just other media consuming apps. It's alright, and I honestly can't find how to reprogram it, but I'm sure that there's a way, and if there is, you know that I'll find a link for you below. Like I said before, the overall feel in hand is a little disappointing, and because there are two screens on the phone, putting it down on a desk means you're going to scratch it, and you're naturally just going to get one of the screens smudgy at all times. It's kind of a shame, and I wish that it could be different, but I understand that these are the caveats and the things that you're just going to have to deal with a foldable phone. Okay, I get it. You want to know about the two screens. Well, the first thing you need to think about is that media consumption isn't as good as you want. When you're watching something like a YouTube video, it's going to naturally put the entire YouTube video on the top of your screen when you're in horizontal mode, and then leave the rest of the space for the title, comments, and recommended videos. That's kind of a shame. And when you want to fill up your entire screen with the YouTube video, which is what I've preferred to do, I am very disappointed because, well, the giant bezel in the middle and absolutely massive letterboxing on this doesn't make it an enjoyable viewing experience. It's a shame because here you are with a 6.7-inch display and you really can't use it for all of its glory. However, if you'd like to use this for productivity, that's a whole nother story. I actually typed this entire video script on this. And yes, it did take a while, and yes, I just use bullet points and then slowly ramble my way through these videos, but I still believe that for productivity, all of the extra room that you get on here, the ability to multitask, and plenty of other features allow you to really use this phone to its full capabilities. I feel like I can get a lot of work done with this, and I'm always somebody who's itching for more space to work. So personally, I think that's the best feature with this phone. If you've been looking at enough of the B-roll in this video, you know that the camera on this phone is, well, one camera. The app automatically opens in selfie mode, which I personally cannot stand. And there's also a small period of time where you're switching between the two displays so that you can use it as a back-facing camera. This additional delay is kind of a shame in the 21st century where people like me are so impatient that we can barely make it through a video this long. Moving on to software, well, this is XDA, and it's sad to say that this isn't the most developer-friendly software. It's a shame, but it's true. Simply put, it's difficult to be able to work with software that was specifically made for two screens. I'm sure somebody's working on it right now, but as of now, I haven't found anything that's particularly groundbreaking in the world of software, ROMs, rooting, or any other sort of mods for this phone. For the most part, the software looks and feels like generic stock Android. Overall, the few mods and different changes that have been put on this are essentially just different AT&T bloatwares, such as their DirecTV Now application, which, well, is really only usable if you have AT&T subscriptions or DirecTV. And last but not least, let's take a look at performance. With one screen, this phone is a beast, rightfully so. It's currently retailing for about $600, and I think that's a pretty good price for this. I understand how expensive making a phone like this must be. The research and time and energy that went into just this phone's conception must have been insane, let alone the cost of manufacturing a phone with 2 displays. So it's honorable for ZTE to make this phone. It's very fast with one screen, and with 2 screens, performance is hit or miss. To be honest with you, the transitions between 1 screen and 2 screens are just rocky. It's not as fast as I'd like it to be, and multitasking doesn't go as smoothly as I'd like, especially if you have a bunch of apps open. However, there's plenty of RAM on this. For the most part, it runs well. Just the last video I made on this channel, I was explaining why I couldn't recommend this phone. Is it still true? Has anything changed in a week? No. Sadly, as productive as I felt typing a script on this, I don't feel that it's worth the $600 price point, and while I understand that it's fair, I don't feel that it's competitive. There are plenty of other phones that perform much better and have much more usable features than this one. Well, that's gonna do it for me. If XDA has taught me anything, there's inevitably gonna be somebody in the comments who disagrees with me, and you know what? I wanna hear why. So, comment below, do you think that the ZTE Axon M is the most revolutionary, amazing phone of the 21st century? Or do you think you're on my side, where, yeah, it's a bit of a gimmick? Whatever it is, let me know below. I'm Eric, this is XDA, and we will see you soon.